when the stars relevant. Foreign cars out the mall with the big Smithy. On the Dutch look, home so the tank in the corner, roll it up. She want my side open.
I was offered $800 for this t-shirt, kind of. I actually thrifted this shirt about a year ago. As I grabbed it out of the bin, someone came up on my right side, offered me 100. Person came up on my left side, countered with 200. And then the person on the right said, no one here will be able to pay more than me. I paid for it, I left, I called my friend Cam, he offered me 600. I went back, and then one of those bidders said that they are thinking about offering 800.
Here's Johnny.
And this is all for a vintage tee that I thrifted for $1. Not to mention, last year you guys saw a t-shirt that I found at the Goodwill for $4.98 that I later sold for $3,000. Now this series is called Turning Clothes into Cash. As we approach the end of the year, a lot of people do top fives or their favorites of the year, and obviously now it is 2022. In the last video, I mentioned that I was thinking about doing my favorite vintage pickups from the last year. So that's what this video is going to be, and the first tee is this one. I didn't sell it. I kept it because I like it. Although I resell for a living, if you guys want to follow my resale page, Thrift Row, THRIFTROW, there are a lot of things that I keep from thrifting. Speaking of thrifting, it is almost 9 o'clock and I gotta go to the Goodwill. Before I go, smash the like button, show some love in the comments. Any interaction does help, so please do just that. Without you guys showing love, there is no way for me to keep making content, but let's get to it. It's been kind of slow lately, but hopefully we can find some good stuff. It's a little windy. Got here 1 minute late, saw people walking in. Damn, they still do not have this first row open. A lot of people and no bins. North Face for my mom. Oh, my grandkids are the apple of my eye. And it's got the double neck. Everyone needs a little neck. You're so funny. Sad day today. A sad, sad day. I only got 5 items.
This is so cool.
Skirt. Wanna go hit a thrift store real quick? Later. You ever been here?
I've never been here.
It's one of the only racks that I still like. Oh man, racks are just not the move here in Washington. I don't know what happened to Emily, but they do not give a fuck about her bar mitzvah from 1990 anymore. Ooh, and the puff print cactus plant flea market. Dang, look, it's my homie Boone's personal company right here, Bricklayers. Paul Rodriguez, Nike SB, Codeine Skies, Blue Bar Guild, little early 2000s joint. This is on the Oneida tag. Sound Arrows, a new Tribune. It's like a Kodak Teamwork shirt. Hanes Beefy, super nice vintage tag. Tacoma Mud Sharks, this is kind of fire. Should I put it in now?
That's what she said.
All right, decided to make another stop at the bins. A USA made Disney Big Dogs crew neck, 1989, Paul McCartney. This was found by her. She literally gave this to me. She was like, oh, I don't know if this is a good one. I don't think she looked at the whole tee though. World Tour, 1989, 1990. Look at the legend himself. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Def Leppard, 2002. Sadly, the sleeves are cut off because whoever owned this tee previously was some sort of bodybuilder. This tee I was gonna buy off of another picker. Based off his response, I felt like the price might be a little bit too steep, so I just didn't even follow up with him. Came back, he threw it back, and I picked it up. Little Spider-Man tee, and then a newer Russell Athletic hoodie. If at first you don't succeed, pick yourself up and try again. That should be the motto at the bins. Even though this video includes some trip to the thrift footage, obviously this is not necessarily a trip to the thrift. I am working on another trip to the thrift. I already got some bangers for that video, but I'm not going to show that off. Like I said, this video is more focused around my recent pickups over the last year, or I guess some of my favorite pickups. And I don't just want to showcase t-shirts, but I will start off with a couple of my favorite tees because I feel like t-shirts are a good entry point into vintage. As you guys know, originally I started off on streetwear. When I started this channel, I started doing Karmaloo Pauls, and then I started doing trips to the thrift. Then I did Supreme, and I was still thrifting, but I wasn't really documenting what I would find. As I've been thrifting this last year, there's been a lot of different things that I've kind of opened my mind to, and I really appreciate it because as I've learned more, I've still been gravitating towards things that I would have liked in those original Karmaloo Paul days. So I got a lot of vintage Stussy. I just picked this up recently in a trip to the thrift. I got this one too. I love this tee. It does fit a little bit small. It makes me look like I'm trying to show off my guns. That back is just such a sick one, and the fit kind of fits as if it was like a more 80s or 70s style t-shirt. I got this one as well. Once again, this fits a little bit slim. Single stitch, and look at this beautiful made in the US of A tag. This is made in Mexico, still an old Stussy tag, and it is single stitch. It's this beautiful like oatmeal heather colorway with this the ST ... and then the interlocking S's right there as well. I also got this one, beautiful old Stussy made in the USA tag, single stitch, and then it's got this little mullet hit right there with the back hit as well. You guys know I love those natural earth tone colors. I picked this one up actually a couple years ago. Fun fact, I posted a picture of this while I was in Houston, and Shorty's Skateboards actually followed me. 16, 17-year-old me kind of geeked out a little bit. In fact, when I took the picture of that Shorty's tee, I got this tee right here. I actually bought this off of Kinky. This is a single stitch shove it tee. Love this like olive tone. Since I do a lot of my thrifting in the Pacific Northwest and there's not a huge culture of streetwear here, I feel like there is not that much older streetwear that comes out in the racks or the bins. Speaking of older streetwear, by the way, I'm working on a drop on Thrift Row. This right here is an old early 2000s Nike SB tee, front and back. Okay, real quick, I forgot to mention, you guys see that gorgeous Nike SB tee from the early 2000s? Like I said, it's gonna be on Thrift Row, so let me open that up. I'm gonna go to eBay right now so you guys can see or get an idea of what this is currently listed at. You see that beautiful thing right there, and oh my goodness, you see the price tag, $2,200. No, I don't think it's worth that price, but it is definitely a Grail, and it will be posted for way less than that ridiculous price. Anyways, back to the video. This is another Nike SB with the little homie right here. Those are gonna be posted on Thrift Row, and I've also been thinking about posting a bunch of other like streetwear finds that I have found over the last couple months. That includes Supreme, Stussy, some other kind of like extreme sports tees, since obviously Stussy, Supreme, a lot of these streetwear brands come from either surfing, skating, or some like Burton even come from snowboarding. There's tees like this, for example, that I wanna post. I found this in the thrifts not too long ago, but this one's super sick. Mission Beach, San Diego. What's really dope about this, I always talk about these prints. I love a sick wraparound print. If you look really closely on the faded black tee, you can see this shark just ready to devour this mortal human. A lot of these will be posted to the page Thrift Row. That is my resale page. If you guys want to follow it, that'll be somewhere on the screen and the description down below. THRIFTROW. I'll also leave the website in the description down below as well. Right now, I'm in the process of debating with myself whether or not I'm going to sell this. It's either like a late 90s or literally the year 2000 Stussy crew neck. It's USA made, and it's got this super dope graffiti hit on the front of it. I think I found this at Goodwill, and I think I paid like $3. If I do end up selling this, it's probably gonna be a little bit more expensive just because this is an absolute banger, and I rarely ever find old vintage Stussy crew necks that I like. And to be honest, I don't care if it doesn't sell because yeah, it's just so sick and it fits me perfectly. But that being said, I don't just want to show off tees. I wanted to start off with streetwear tees because obviously that's kind of where I got my roots. But then I'll also go and I'll, you know, show off something like this. Like this is an absolute banger. A 1950s hunter's jacket. Having a hunter's jacket from this era in this color is actually quite rare. I found this one in a recent trip to the thrift and I just love all the details. It's got this little pocket right here. Little layer that you unbutton is actually a layer that goes over the complete top half of the jacket, and then it also goes down the sleeve, so it's double sleeve. And it's in this beautiful like natural tone. I also love these just kind of polished metal buttons, embellishments. I really like stuff like this, and I love when I see comments that appreciate things other than just hype t-shirts. Like I get it, I understand why certain vintage tees have hype because there's a certain nostalgia, right? There are t-shirts that I'm about to show you that reference things that I liked from when I was a kid. So it's kind of this like little memory, but there is something to be said with something like this where you can appreciate how this thing is made. As I've gotten more into thrifting this last year, I've started to appreciate things, and some stuff is just random. This, right? Like this is an old middle school corduroy hat from the late 80s. This is a super sick sun faded varsity jacket. There's no crazy cool patches. I actually like that the patches are removed because then you can see where the patches used to be and the sun fading around the patches. Hoodies and sweaters, I love finding these in the thrift. It's always hard for me to find a good hoodie. So here's two of my favorite hoodies from the last year. I grew up listening to mostly rap music, but my mom loves classic rock. So I remember going on early morning drives at like 6 in the morning. If I got to pick the song, it'd be like Bone Thugs and Harmony. But if she got to pick the song, it'd be, you know, Led Zeppelin, Elton John, you know, Aerosmith, Styx, shit like that. Another one that I like is this. I think when I was like 8 years old, one of my cousins tried to get me to smoke weed. And I remember I ran, said, no, I'm gonna die, because I thought that if I smoked, I would die. What's weird about this one is it's on a USA Russell Athletic. Some other crew necks. This one right here looks like an old puzzle my mom would do back in the day or something. It does fit a little bit small, so I've been thinking about selling this. One that I do not want to sell is this one, which you guys have not seen yet. This is actually for the Northwest Trek, which is a place that I went on a field trip to when I was, I think in like elementary school, like a nature reserve. But yeah, you see all these like wolves, forest all over print, wraps around the sleeve all the way to the back. Of course, it's got the double neck. Who does not like a little bit of neck? Now, I think it's time for the tees. Man, there's been so many good pickups over the last year. Like I said, I like a little bit of everything. You'll see tees kind of ranging from all over the place. Obviously, we had some streetwear tees. We got some sports tees. We got like hot rod slash motorcycle slash miscellaneous tees. And then some band tee pickups. Going over some of them though, we got Death Grips. I got this AC/DC World Tour crew shirt. I just like this because it honestly looks like it would be some Kanye merch, but it's not. Here, I think this is over a year ago, but super sick. Obviously, it's got the Hajime Sorayama Sexy Robot. It is from 2001, one of my favorite Aerosmith tees. And then by far my two favorite band tees, this right here, this is Kurt Cobain's Death Certificate. I did pay a good amount for this. This is one that I did not thrift. Definitely one that I wanted in the collection. As you guys know, I sold that heart-shaped box that I got for $5. I think it was $4.98 at Goodwill. Tia from Sneak City, her dad Nate actually found this tee and I worked out a trade for him. This tee I just really wanted because I love Styx. Like I said, my mom's a big fan of classic rock and she actually went to the concert or to see Styx this year, which was in 1978. So definitely an old one. If you look at this Hanes tag, it's a beautiful Hanes. This does fit me really tight like a 70s or 80s tee normally does, but you know, high fashion. I like tees with random sayings on them, so this one's nice. I only date crack whores. This one's cool. Life is hard and then you die. This is actually from the 1970s. I paid more than what I would like to with this one. I don't remember exactly what I paid, but the fade on this is nice. The fit is amazing. This is one of those like unsound rag specials. And then we have some other kind of more just basic faded, I don't know, motorcycle tees. Well, this one not so much. This just says No Rats Club. This is a Harley tee. No, I do not ride a Harley. My mom was like a self-proclaimed biker back in the day, so I just like a lot of this type of stuff. The fade on this is nice. The length is nice, and I love how the orange and blue just contrast on that back hit. I got this one. This is a Sturgis tee. I picked this up in the last trip to the thrift as well. You got the eagle hit on the back, Sturgis. And then if you look closely, you can see the fade has these like motorcycles or motorcyclists. I got another tee like this as well, but that one's actually at my mom's. Another little Sturgis tee. Nice little fit, just has a little pocket on the front. I like that the pocket print goes over the stitching. From 1996, but I absolutely love the colors. Thrifted this a while ago and I really like this one a lot. This has the A-10 on the front of it. As you guys know, I was in the Air Force. The A-10 is not my favorite aircraft, but it was someone who I was stationed with. His favorite aircraft is the A-10, so it's kind of just has some personal sentimental value. This is a lowriders tee. This is the wraparound graphic that I love with the lowriders. On the lowrider tag and single stitch. I posted a picture on my personal Instagram with my uncle Desi. He's Mexican and he loves lowriders. And so growing up, always like admiring my uncle Desi, just thinking he was this cool guy. I also have, you know, just had some affinity for old school. One of my favorite cars, this is not my favorite year. My favorite year is actually a 54, but I do want to get a 56 someday because my brother who passed away this last year, one time when he was getting out of rehab, I remember he actually brought me like a model 56 Bel Air. It was a Dub City model. I also got these Rat Fink tees. These actually came out in the bins. I love Rat Fink artwork and I remember going to like hot rod shows with my mom back in the day, so I just kind of appreciate these little hot rod tees. And then we only got a couple more tees. You know, we have this Cornell University like Budweiser flip, which I think is hilarious. This is a Charles Barkley and it's on a gray Nike. It's rare to see a print like this with a Barkley. Usually if you see a cool, crazy print like this, it's with a Jordan. We have this Magic Johnson Chicago Bulls. I actually posted about this on Grail. Sorry, I posted about this on Instagram for a sponsorship I did with Grail. I've never been a big sports guy, but I love the Bulls because when I was a kid, my brother stole me a Chicago Bulls jersey that I used to wear all the time. I also of course got the Seattle Sonic Magic Johnson as well. This was a gift from the homie RJ, which you guys may have seen in the videos. Sadly, the Sonics are no longer with us. This is the Tacoma SaberCats. It's a local hockey team. I used to watch them play when I was in elementary school because I used to always get free tickets. And speaking of the Seattle Supersonics, I have this right here, the Tacoma Soups. So Seattle's kind of like our big brother, but fun fact, the Supersonics did play in Tacoma or at the Tacoma Dome for one season. Tacoma Soups. I got this in white and black. I paid way too much for this, honestly, but I'm glad to have both in my collection. I paid $1 for this. Calvin and Hobbes. I used to read this book when I was in elementary school. And then last but not least, we have an essential little High Sierra pocket tee, but we also have this DK Donkey Kong 64 tee. I just got another one that I'll show you guys in the next trip to the thrift. I found a vintage Space Jam tee in the bins for $1. Probably one of my better finds besides this one. And I traded for this plus some money on top. My Uncle Jesse, I think he stole like a Super Nintendo, and then I think my mom bought it off off him, and that's how we got a Super Nintendo. I just remember playing Donkey Kong back in the day, you know, on the Super NES. So yeah, some of these are, my place is a mess now. Anytime I shoot a video, like it literally just looks like a tornado came through and just ravaged my apartment. These are some of my favorite pickups. Most of these were from within the last year. There are a couple other ones, but I'm just trying to show a wide range of product. My hope is that some people watch these videos, watch the trips to the thrift, and don't just pay attention to what they already like, but maybe step out of that a little bit. And I get it, you know, because to be honest, I think that most people get into clothes for somewhat surface level reasons. When I first got into clothes, it was because my friend Josh, my best friend second grade, I've said this before, but I feel like I have to give him an intro every time, but he convinced me to wear fitted pants. We went and got a little fit. I went to Club Friday, and yeah, girls were like, oh, I love your outfit, blah, blah. And so I started caring about how I dressed. Now, most of the time I'm wearing some sweatpants, a basic tee, and probably for like the last 2 months, this Woolrich pullover. But I've come to a point where I just genuinely like the clothing. I like looking at it. I like having it. I like feeling different ways that different things were made. I don't know, I just guess I hope that people watch these videos and eventually see something that they may not have liked in the past, or that they may not have, you know, thought was cool, but they see it and they're like, damn, like I actually do like that. I think that's sick. And it's funny because some of the stuff that gets compliments, like for example, I bought this the other day, and I had several people comment about how much they like this corduroy button up. This is just an LL Bean corduroy button up. It's a woman's button up that I just wore over whatever I was wearing. Got it in the thrift for $1. Let me know what some of your guys' favorite pickups from the last year was. Comment in the comments down below. Please take a second to like the video, show some love in the comments. Let me know what some of your favorite pickups were, whether you thrift, whether you don't, whether you bought some Grail that you've been wanting for quite some time, whatever it may be. Let me know in the comments. Any interaction that you do with the video does help, so I greatly appreciate it. Also follow Thriftrow, THRIFTROW on Instagram, which of course I will leave the Instagram and the website, which is thriftrow.com, linked in the description down below. Drop coming soon. I apologize for the delay, but I gotta steam and measure every single product, and it does take some time. But anyways, I do not want to rant for too long. This video is probably already too long. I'm gonna try to chop it down anyways. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. As always, keep living Star Life. Peace.
Star Life, Chris say shooting on Mexico. These thoughts been ran through, goddamn it.
And my brother